Howdy roundabout, all you Shaggy Goose Egg Boys, and welcome to another episode of Al Pacino's Prison Scene, the summer series. Today we have a very special guest. Not the wife, because she's here every time.
Hey, that wasn't her. I don't know what I said.
By the way, we have shut up, Chris. We have a local artist, Florence, Alabama, Deshaun, aka Chill.
Hey, how's it going? About Shaggy Goose Egg Bois.
Okay.
We did it.
I am Jake.
I'm Kyle.
And I am behaving.
Thank you.
Thank God.
We had already recorded like 4 minutes, and Chris kept saying stuff that was bad. So we had to start over. And you missed me pop it open and aha because of it.
Well, you could. Did
you say, Deshaun, about cold ones?
It's a YouTube channel.
No. Okay.
Lean in, if you can.
It's a YouTube channel.
No, what did you say?
You're like my grandfather.
I've got two people directing me, so I'm just trying to.
What did you say? You were like, I was going to say cold ones a podcast, but something.
Saying it's already a. They have the podcast, I think, on the side, but it's already a brand.
It's not working. Kyle, what movie are we doing today?
Oh, we are doing Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. One of, if not, and this may be where some of us disagree, the best Star Wars movie ever made.
Interesting. You know, I would love to say that it's Episode 8.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, you're not Jonathan. You don't
I think the best Star Wars movie is Rogue One.
I
feel very threatened right now.
You should.
You should. I have a gun under the table. You see both my hands right now. My third one is holding a gun.
You're not going to take that out?
No.
No, it's
okay.
funny.
Because it's America, Chris.
Yeah, hell yeah. So, I guess that before we get into it, let's talk about Star Wars. Because I said it's the best, one of, if not the best, Star Wars movies. I think everybody can agree. Episode 5 is like, come on, it's very difficult to beat. It's amazing in pretty much every aspect of it.
Well, again, I would say Episode 8.
Yeah, I would almost say that is the best movie, but not the best Star Wars movie.
I think I can agree with you.
Yeah, I agree with that. Visually, it's the best.
Oh yeah, no, it's
Salt.
You know that the person who did that was the director of Rogue One?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I was going to say about Rogue One, I really only like the second half of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much anything after they get off of Jeddah, that planet is pretty good.
Which I've said this every time someone brings up Rogue One, but I'm going to say it again because it's a podcast.
Yes.
You cannot get that quiet.
The plot of Rogue One is basically Halo Reach. But hey, it's based off of something that was established in Episode 4, so who's copying who?
It was based off of one line in Episode 4.
Yeah, I know.
Honestly, I think that this prequel trilogy is my favorite trilogy.
Really?
That's going to get a lot of flack, but I think that it's so powerful that all three of these are tragedies.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because Episode 4 ends on a high note, obviously, because they didn't know if they were going to make more.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 5 somewhat ends as a tragedy, but not really. And then Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, everything's happy.
Yeah.
But all three of these, Qui-Gon dies. It's the beginning of Anakin's descent into the dark side.
Mm-hmm.
The Clone Wars is just this entire struggle. It's a war film.
Yeah.
And again, Anakin is descending into the dark side, and now the conflict arises.
The final scene is him getting married, juxtaposed, cutting back and forth between the clone army being raised and everything.
Yeah.
And Palpatine being in almost complete control at that point. I see that. And Duel of Fates, Episode 1 is really a tragedy because, and maybe we'll get into this later, but Qui-Gon was Anakin's father figure.
Well, exactly.
And
exactly.
that's what the Duel of the Fates was. It was the duel over the fate of Anakin. Because if Qui-Gon had lived, everything else wouldn't have happened.
That's actually a point that my wife brought up while we were watching the movie last night.
Oh, really?
If
Did
I-
you watch all three?
No, we just watched the third one.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen all of them, but it's been a bit. So.
I've watched all of them.
And it's been not a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been maybe 2 months.
Yeah, I didn't have enough time to watch because I did want to watch I did want to watch the entire like main 6 movies because the rest of them didn't happen. But I did want to watch those. I just didn't have enough time.
Well, see, the problem is I had to abstain from paying too much attention because if I watch one,
Yeah,
I will end up watching all of them.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
legitimately, like that's what I'm doing like the rest of this week. I'm just
I
gonna
wanted
watch-
to go back and watch specifically just the second one because, like, I do remember Phantom Menace, but like Clone Wars, I have almost no memory of.
Yeah,
Uh,
Clone Wars was the first movie I saw in theaters. I was 3 years old.
really,
Wow.
I saw it on IMAX. I got to
think-
dress up.
the first movie I watched in theaters was Shrek 2, and
Hey, we went
yeah.
to some good movies for our first
hell
premiere.
yeah.
I do not know what my first movie in the theaters
It was
was.
probably something like Barbie World Tour or something. I don't know if that's a movie, but
Yeah, well, at least I'm not stupid.
well, debatable.
Okay,
But
hey, before
did you grow up with Star Wars?
Yes, I did. My dad was a huge Star Wars fan. Shout out to my dad if you're listening to this. I hope you don't though, because I say bad things.
Yeah.
Um.
What about you, Jake?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. My grandfather and my parents are both huge fans. My dad's favorite is Revenge of the Sith.
Really?
Now
That's surprising.
I think
for
that's my
an older
dad's-
generation.
before
I would say-
well, he's only 42.
Yeah, but even then, he would have been old enough to at least see like maybe Episode 6 in theaters. But even then, like he grew up with those,
Oh, well, that's true. That's
and
true.
so that's why I'm saying it's like
Well, another one of his favorite films is Gladiator. So
that's a good movie.
I
I
vaguely
disagree.
remember that movie.
You disagree?
Yes, I do not like that
Dude,
movie.
the final
And it
final
may-
act.
It may just be because every time I talked to my father on the phone for a year straight, every time he would ask me, "Have you seen Gladiator?"
Yeah, you said Gladiator.
That's how I feel about Star Wars as a whole. Because so many people talk about it to me. The more I hear about it, the more I just kind of dislike it.
No.
Which
now you might get kicked
but-
off.
No. The reason I say that is because I haven't seen Star Wars since I was a kid.
Yeah.
But watching it yesterday, especially taking notes, I really appreciated it more. It's just the fan base and stigma around it. Same thing with
stigma.
Well, I don't use words correctly, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, you got like the toxic fandom for
Yeah,
sure.
Well, that's true.
that's why I got out of My Hero Academia and anime as a whole. But
I didn't get into anime because I'm not stupid. But
thank you.
was that what was
That was
his name?
Lucas.
No, from Horton Hears a Who. Yup.
Oh yeah.
Yup.
No, but see, for the longest time, I thought his favorite was Attack of the Clones.
Yeah. I have so Attack of the Clones, the very final shot is Anakin and Padme at getting married, and I have this distinct memory as maybe a 4-year-old watching it on an old tube TV, but I had it on full screen, I think, and it stretched the image and made it, or compressed the image, and it made it to look like Anakin and Padme were extremely tall, and everything was really focused in. And every time I watch Attack of the Clones, I remember that random day that I was watching it. And I think that's just kind of neat, because I grew up with Star Wars, and it holds a special place in my heart.
Well, your middle name is Anakin.
That's true.
All right, we probably could talk for 24 hours.
Yeah.
I was going to say one more thing that's not about Revenge of the Sith before we get into the recap.
Yeah.
You brought up that the sequel trilogy apparently doesn't matter. I heard somewhere that
No, I brought that up.
Okay, yeah, it was Kyle. I heard somewhere that the sequel trilogy is getting a complete reboot. Is that true?
I felt like that article was clickbait because I know what you're referring
I read
to.
that. Yeah.
I'm going to say that that's probably a no, but what they're going to do is they're just not going to reference it in any
And
new
anything else.
material.
It's
Yeah.
Are they
that's
going
not
to
canon.
decanonize it?
I think by sheer omission.
Okay.
They're probably going to do a Clone Wars animated sequel that's in between the events of the Skywalker trilogy.
Do you
they
mean
technically
The
already
Mandalorian?
are.
Are they doing that?
Well,
They
because
have
there's
some-
Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah, but that's in between 3 and 4. But there's a newer one called Resistance or something like that, and it's it doesn't look appealing to my eye, but I haven't looked at that. But anyways, I just thought it was important to talk about
It's Rebels, I think, in it.
No, Rebels is in between 3 and 4.
What about Bad Batch?
Bad Batch is like in between 3 and 4, but it's directly after Episode 3.
Yes.
Like it picks up like right after Order 66.
Where does Clone Wars animated series end?
Clone Wars, the animated series, ends during Order 66. Like
Okay.
Darth Vader's in it.
Okay.
Well, yeah, they do like a final jump at like the very last scene, but the final episode or the final 2 episodes, or maybe even 3, takes place during Order 66, and it's like getting the chip out of Rex's head, and it's Ahsoka basically fighting like an entire like cruiser.
Spoilers.
Pretty awesome.
I need to watch
I
Clone Wars.
really
I
wish
haven't
I
seen
hadn't
Clone
heard
Wars.
that.
Well, I mean, I didn't say anything of consequence. I don't think, other than
Yeah,
that
but
there's
that's really cool.
it is no. But what happens before it, the Siege of Mandalore? That's
Just stop.
that's really
Stop.
cool.
Okay.
It's
Stop.
so cool.
I didn't
when
even
Alright,
know that
you
happened.
get to see Anakin and Padme have
Alright.
sex.
Let's get this rolling along. I'm about to do a recap. All right, so Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith opens up with the dynamic duo known as Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker, backed by their trusty disposable clone pilots, going to General Grievous's ship where he has Chancellor Palpatine locked up. Do it. They take on not there yet. They take on a swarm of vulture droids as they breach Grievous's ship. Rip R4. Do it.
Oh,
Anakin and R2 take out the droids, saving Kenobi, and they get into a ship. Once Anakin takes out the shields and they enter, I said that out of order. And Obi-Wan says, "I have a bad feeling about this," because the shields were pretty easy to open. And R2, they're at the loading deck, and R2 stays behind and watches the ship as the duo goes to the elevator to go to the observation deck. Deck. Damn it, I can't write. And this is where they say, "I smell a trap," and probably is a trap. Duo gets stuck in the elevator, and R2 tries to help, but he gets caught into some messy business with some of the battle droids.
super battle droids.
Super battle droids, which they pick them up, and then R2 pees on them with oil, and then
Come a little bit closer.
all right. Anyway, he sets the droids on fire, and then he gets the elevator back to working. And also during this time, I don't know if I should say this, but Anakin calls Kenobi out for apparently being racist against droids because he implies that he's been making a lot of loose wire jokes, and Kenobi's like, "What? I wasn't going to say anything." And all right, the duo they find Chancellor Palpatine, and then Count Poo-Poo does a backflip.
I'm so mad I laughed at that. I'm so mad I laughed at that. He goes, "Go Poo-Poo."
Count Poo-Poo does a backflip and starts to fight Kenobi and Anakin.
He does a front flip, actually.
Yeah, okay, well, shut the... Count Poo-Poo makes Kenobi pass out because he throws a thing on him and he faints. And so now it's just him and Anakin, and they battle for a bit. But then Anakin gets Poo-Poo's lightsaber, and then it's like, "Hey, checkmate." And Poo-Poo's like, "Oh no," and Palpatine's like, "Do it." Palpatine tells Anakin to kill him, and Anakin's like, "No, I probably shouldn't," but then, Palpatine's like, "Do it, Nike." And so he kills him. And
Just randomly throws that in there. Yeah, go ahead.
and so they get Palpatine, they go up to the observation deck where they find General Grievous, and Anakin and Kenobi fight him for a bit, but then Grievous is like, "Screw you guys," and he...
Are you still on the first page?
Yes, he bashes he bashes open the window, and he flies out, and
Bro, we're not even back on Coruscant yet.
And then Anakin has to take control of the ship, and Anakin lands the ship like Denzel Washington in Flight.
See, why are you doing that?
If you've ever seen Flight,
Yeah,
okay,
it's funny.
Yeah.
He lands it like Sully.
Meanwhile, Grievous contacts Palpatine, and Palpatine tells him that he's found Poo-Poo's replacement. Anakin has nightmares about Pad Thai's death.
God damn it.
You know what, Jake? I hear it. I hear it.
Oh, do you?
Anakin wakes up and he tells him that he's had a nightmare similar to the one that he had when his mom died. And he tells Padme, I won't let this become real. And he refuses to go to Obi-Wan for help, which is very important. Anakin talks to Yoda about his visions, and Yoda has a really, really profound talk with him and tells him, quote, the fear of loss is a path to the dark side. Death is a natural part of life. Rejoice for those around you who transform into the Force. Miss them, do not.
Mourn them, do not.
Okay. And he also says attachment leads to jealousy. The shadow of greed, that is.
Mm-hmm.
And he tells him to train yourself to let go of everything you lose. That's pretty much the summed up conversation. And Anakin meets with Obi-Wan later, and Obi-Wan tells him that the Senate is in favor of giving Palpatine executive power.
You mean Palpatine's in favor of giving Palpatine power?
Yeah.
Because Palpatine is the Senate.
Okay.
I am the Senate.
It's the
I know.
Yeah. Okay, so Obi-Wan says that the Senate is looking to give Palpatine more executive power and over the war, and Anakin's like, okay, that's good. That means that the war will be over because we can, use Force. And Kenobi's like, I don't know about that. It's not the Jedi way. And Obi-Wan does not later contradict that shit. Palpatine tells Anakin that he wants him to represent him as the Senate, and Anakin goes to the Jedi Council and tells the Council that, and the Council's like, okay, yeah, we want you to do that, but we're also not going to say that you're, Jedi Master, and then he gets pissed off about that. And then in private, he talks to Obi-Wan about this, and Obi-Wan tells him that the Council's true motive, the Jedi's Council true motive, is to get him to basically be a double agent for Palpatine. And Anakin feels conflicted about this, so he talks to his wifey about this, and she begins to question the Republic as Anakin is also questioning them. So he goes and he talks to Palpatine in private, and Palpatine attempts to groom him, essentially. Essentially, he's grooming him, saying that, hey, you're more powerful than most Jedi, you're more smarter than most Jedi. And he does this to get him to have more faith in him, to lose faith in the Council and more faith in him. And then he says, hey, have you ever heard of the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? And Anakin's like, oh no, this sounds like scary Sith stuff. And then he says, hey, he can cure death. And he's like, all right, I want that. And so Anakin tells the Council that Palpy said that he should be treated like a big boy and lead the war campaign. And then Samuel L. Windu says, set the fuck down and let Obi-Wan and only do it. That's exactly how I wrote that. And he's getting jelly now. He's getting really jelly. He's like, hey, fuck these guys. I want to be the main Jedi dude.
Yeah.
So Annie has another vision of Padme's death, but this time Obi-Wan is in this vision standing over Padme, which at this point he begins to suspect Obi-Wan, who up until this point was the only Jedi he truly trusted because he was like a brother to him. And he tells Padme, okay, look, I want more power to save you. I'm not going to lose you. And meanwhile, Kenobi takes command of the campaign. He goes to Grievous' hideout. Grievous tells the Separatists that they are being sent to Mustafar far away. Kenobi drops by and says, hello there, whips out his lightsaber, and he starts to fight Grievous with Grievous's freaky 4 lightsabers. Clone Army swoops in, Grievous escapes, and Kenobi chases him. Windu tells Council away from Anakin that they must take control of the Senate for peace. They need to take control of the Senate. And Yoda's like, oh, that sounds like Sith stuff, but hey, let's go ahead and do it anyway.
And we're back.
I didn't wipe.
Kyle had to take a shit. All right, Chris, where were we in our ridiculously long and overly detailed recap?
Palpatine bluntly tells Anakin that he wants him to be his apprentice to save Padme. He bluntly tells him that he is a Sith, and Anakin's like, "No, that's bad. I'm going to turn you into the Council." Meanwhile, Kenobi's fighting Grievous. He kills Grievous.
Hello.
And then we go back to Anakin. He sells out Palpatine to Mace Windu, and Windu's like, "Okay, thank you for telling me. I trust you."
He said window.
He did get launched out a window. Oops, spoiler.
Windu says, Mace Windu says, "Okay, thank you for telling me. I'm going to go kill Palpatine." And Anakin's like, "Let me help you." And he's like, "No, you're not a big boy yet." And so Anakin's all mad. And then
Now Chris has to take a shit.
No, he just did.
I lost
Hey,
my
that
place.
on your leg?
All right, and then Palpatine versus Windu. He what the fuck? I can't read my notes. Oh yeah, Windu almost kills Palpatine, and then Annie steps in. And Annie's like, "Hey, it's not the Jedi way to kill him. He's too weak." And Windu's like, "No, I gotta kill him. I gotta absolutely kill him because right now Windu's dealing in absolutes." And
Oh.
Anakin gives wait, hold up. Anakin cuts off Windu's arm, and then Palpatine kills him with unlimited power. And then Anakin gives in to Palpatine and says, "I pledge myself to your teachings." And then Palpatine knights him as Darth Vader. And then Palpatine tells him to kill children and all and all of the Jedi in the Jedi Temple. And then it cuts to Order 66 being carried out by a man named Cody. A man named Cody.
How unfortunate is that?
Calls out the order to kill all Jedi. A man named Cody. Just think about that. A clone named Cody.
Thought about that. I wonder who it could be.
I haven't watched Clone Wars, so. Anakin kills the kids, and then Padme cries.
Commander Cody.
Commander Cody, yeah. I just think it's funny that a man named Cody's carried out the genocide of Jedi.
Well, it was all the clones.
Yeah, I know,
but the first one we see and the only one that gets a name is Commander Cody.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think it's funny. His
okay.
Cody.
I'm stupid.
Anakin kills kids, and then Padme cries. Chewbacca does a little cameo as Yoda escapes to Kenobi and Organa, and then Anakin tells Padme that the Jedi tried to overthrow the Republic and that he sides with the Chancellor, and she gets upset about that. Anakin goes to Mustafar to kill the Separatists, and then Kenobi, Yoda, and Organa go to the Senate to stop the Chancellor. Kenobi and Yoda see what Anakin has done to the little kids, and then Obi-Wan begs Yoda for him not to be the one to be sent to kill Anakin, and Yoda's like, "No, you gotta kill Anakin." And then Obi-Wan tells Padme that Anakin is a child murderer, and Padme is like, "No, that can't be possible." And he's like, "Sorry, I gotta go kill your husband now." And so he goes to Mustafar.
No, the way he was going that last bit. He sounded like telling
No.
story.
What?
No.
Nah, you couldn't hear it.
Chancellor.
Okay, continue.
All right, and so Obi-Wan goes to Mustafar, and then no, wait, sorry. Obi-Wan walks away from Padme and says that he's going to go kill him. Padme doesn't tell him where Anakin is.
Yep.
Padme loads up a ship to go to Mustafar, and then Obi-Wan, sneaky little man, he sneaks into. I was going to say bastard, but he sneaks into the ship, and
The Force.
And then Padme meets up with Anakin at Mustafar and tries to save him. And Anakin's like, "Hey, no, I'm with the dark side. I'm a bad guy." And then he almost kills Padme. And Obi-Wan comes in and says, "Let her go, Anakin." And Anakin's like, "No."
Let
and so
go.
Obi-Wan fights Anakin, and this whole fight, really long fight scene, is match cut with Yoda fighting Palpatine. Both fights really cool, but you know who's going to win because you've seen the original trilogy. And then Yoda...
Obi-Wan. The fight, right?
Oh, no, he Obi won the fight, all right. I've been waiting to make that joke all day.
I'm sorry.
I thought you were gonna say like your entire life.
All right, Yoda escapes
No.
death. Anakin is left to die, and then the Darth Sidious, aka Palpatine, finds him and then turns him into the Darth Vader that we all know and love. And as this is happening, Padme is giving birth and she dies. And Obi-Wan takes Luke to his aunt and uncle in the planet that we see in the beginning of episode 4. And Leia is taken by Organa to live a luxurious life on Alderaan until it blows up. The end.
All right.
So that was a painful recap for all of us. Very painful for me.
20 minutes later, we can finally start talking about what this movie's about. What are you doing there, Chris?
I'm letting you guys shine. I'm letting the real podcast people shine.
Hey, what's this movie about?
Oh, for me, the dangers of ideology.
Yes.
Dang. All right. I think I agree with that one.
Yes.
And how it's ideology, ideal ideology is impossible.
You know what movie this can kind of be compared to?
What?
Idiocracy.
I was hoping you were going to say Spider-Man 2.
No, man, me too. Hold on,
Which has been a while since I've seen that movie, but like I know
But like
the
stupid people running the
yeah, this man like goes in a time machine from like 2005 to like I think it's like thousands of years in the future, but it's ran by a stupid government.
Hey,
Yeah.
well, look at that.
We're here.
Wouldn't you know?
No, yeah, I mean, because like the Republic is essentially run like. You got COVID or something? Why are you coughing?
Yeah.
So the Republic is it's essentially run like the U.S. is, where each planet is the equivalent of a state, and the states convene with equal representation, no matter the population of that state, and they have equal representation in the Senate, and they vote for the well-being of the galaxy or the federal government in our case. So it's kind of set up very similar to how ours is. But I thought about it specifically because I've seen this movie a lot, and I've never really thought about a deeper meaning beyond like the dangers of becoming too attached to really anything, but in Anakin's case, of his girl. And where I got with this is when I was specifically looking for a really deeper meaning, I stumbled upon the failure of the state, and specifically what happens when you have an ideology and you don't apply it equally.
Are you speaking of like the Force, the light and dark?
I'm speaking of the Jedi and the
Sith?
Senate and the Confederacy. Like all I would say 3 parties of people.
Yeah.
All have their stated goals, and they don't express them they don't act upon them equally in every situation. Therefore, their ideal is just it's just words. It's not actions. And I think the dangers of that is what is seen through Anakin, because he he follows the Jedi code, but he sees that the Jedi don't treat everyone equally. Like he sees that they abuse the Jedi code, and that's what leads him to fall away from it and be seduced by something terrible.
Oh, dang. I was going to talk about that.
Yeah, he becomes like disenfranchised essentially.
Well, yeah, like the reason, the reason why, you just said it, the reason why Anakin turns away from the Jedi code is exactly that. Like they are, not only are they so strict, but even they don't follow their own teachings. Specifically with Mace Windu, when he's trying to kill Palpatine, Chancellor Palpatine, Anakin says there Anakin still believes in somewhat of a Jedi code when Mace confronts Palpatine.
I would say it's less that and more so a test. Because he, earlier in the movie, he killed Dooku unarmed, and basically the same situation that Palpatine was in, right? And he broke the Jedi code there, right? But he's basically testing Mace Windu, who is second in command on the Jedi Council, He's saying it's not the Jedi way, and even Mace Windu is like, I don't care. I'm going to kill him because he's too dangerous. Making the same argument Anakin did, and Anakin knows of his shortcomings, and he goes, "Well, nobody's right." He goes, clearly there should be no moral law here, i.e., the Jedi Code, because not even the people who are enforcing it can follow it.
Well, and if no one is right, then why not do
Then
what
what
I
is
can?
right?
Well, then why not do what I can to protect those who that I love?
Right, at the very least, yeah. And I wrote here, if you state a moral code and fail to apply it equally to all aspects of your life, or choose to ignore its implications on the most complex issues, then your moral code only exposes your shortcomings and hypocrisy. This leads those who follow under you in a state of chaos, likely to be dispossessed, falling to the dark side. That's what happens to Anakin in this one, and it's certainly in this movie, but you can see it throughout,
Right.
Attack of the Clones and the Clone Wars too, like the show. But to me, that's kind of like that sums up to me like the what George Lucas was talking about, I think.
Right, and I think that I don't have we talked about logic and emotion?
In this on this podcast,
Yeah.
I don't believe so.
Okay. Well,
maybe you got into it in Horton Hears a Who a little bit, but
it's also like there is that I think this is maybe known, but like the Jedi way often deals with logic and reasoning.
Yeah.
Where the Sith deals in like emotion, power, and hate and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to me that one of the shortcomings or one of the things that the Jedi avoid is that emotion of any style, and then to think of like what people often fight for is the people that they love.
Yeah.
And then I wonder if there's a connection there.
Well, in Attack of the Clones, Anakin, when he was first taking Padme back to Naboo to hide out after the assassination attempt, he says he says something about emotion, and Padme's like, "Oh, I thought the Jedi weren't allowed to love," and he said, "Well, we're not allowed to have attachments, but we're also supposed to care about every living creature. So I guess you could say that we are supposed to love. We are supposed to love everything and everybody." Encouraged, I think, is the word that he says. But it's like it's a different type of love. There are different there are different types of love.
That's what I was going to say. I think there's a difference between like the romantic love that they have with Padme, and even a platonic one that he has with his mother.
Yeah.
Whereas like the idea of caring for something, I don't necessarily feel is the same as loving something. Like it's almost like the Jedi have an innate sense that they are meant to protect.
Yeah.
Outside of emotion, but like their duty.
Yeah.
Their role in society.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And go ahead.
Real quick, I was just going to ask, and I heard this somewhere, but is it not the rule that it's not like procreation that's forbidden, but it's specifically like marriage that's forbidden? Is that
you're right about there are exceptions. The Kaidi Mandai, the guy with like the two heads, and he died on that snowy planet during Order 66.
I always said Kiadi Mundi.
Yeah, well, that's wrong. But
I didn't know there was one with two heads.
Well, no, he's got two brains.
The big guy.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
His head goes, it looks like a comb. Yeah. He and I don't know if this is canon.
I didn't know he had two brains.
Yeah, well, that's what that like.
I didn't.
Is, yeah,
I thought that he was just the
same race
as the Coneheads.
I am a. That's funny. I'm a very big nerd, and that's going to be showing in this episode. But his species was kind of like going below the population level that it needed to keep replenishing, and so the Jedi Council allowed him to.
So you need to basically have approval to procreate,
right?
Okay.
And you need it in like circumstances of like saving your species.
Gotcha.
Which begs the question. Well, why didn't Yoda go smash?
Oh yeah, what's the deal with his species?
Dude, I don't know. There's only been two other ones that we've seen in the Star Wars universe.
What's the one besides Baby
Yaddle?
Yaddle, yeah, from Episode 1, and it's a girl.
Well, but there's also
She was on the Jedi Council, yeah.
Grogu.
Grogu. Yeah,
That's
well, that's
three.
what I was saying. Yeah, I was saying 2 others.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know the name of Baby Yoda. I just know him as Baby
Oh
Yoda.
yeah, well, season 2. Have you not seen season 2?
I haven't seen any of Mandalorian.
Oh.
I need to watch it. I really need to watch it. My boy John Favreau, or however you say his name.
Yeah, no, you're right. Favreau,
Yo, shout out Logan Gordonson.
Yeah, he
All
did
right,
Tenet as well.
Back to
What were we talking about?
I don't remember, but I mean, even
Love.
then, like even in like we have like the Knights of the Old Republic stuff like that. Everything is just the Jedi way has never been ideologically pure. Never, from the very beginning of Episode 4.
Yeah.
Never have they been ideologically
Well,
pure.
that's when I think that
I would disagree with that, but go ahead with what you were saying.
that's when I would think that like an ideology becomes an ideology when it strives so much to be pure. I mean, I don't think any like form of government can be completely pure.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with this statement, but it exists for a reason. Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah.
And not to say that the people in power in the representative republic that we have here are not necessarily in power or in absolute power, but with power comes corruption.
Yeah, and we can certainly talk about like the politics of this for sure. But I was going to say, I actually wrote like a kind of a definition of ideology here, and I kind of like this. But I said ideology is a story. It's the story that drives people to act in life in nearly, if not all, aspects. The emotional stability of an individual relies heavily on the integrity of their stories. These stories have a religious substructure, or to put another way, well-constructed stories have a nature so compelling that they gathered religious behaviors and attitudes around them. And these stories protect us by their nature and ask us to act in certain ways that create repetitive iterations of success in multiple dimensions. Essentially meaning the story that you view because we talked about this in one of the last episodes, how we view our own lives as a story, right? And the story by which you live is your ideology, specifically one that is told to you, right? Like whether that is a political ideology or religious ideology, everybody has one that they follow. Or some people say, no, I don't have an ideology. Like, I'm completely neutral and everything. No, you're not. No, I don't believe anybody can be neutral about anything. I think what you are is you are either ill-informed or you are just apathetic at the moment. Because I think push comes to shove, everybody cares about something. They just don't know how to state it. Anywho, ideologies grasp us because they inform how we act. And they take the burden of thinking off of us because when somebody tells you once somebody tells you the story of the Christian faith and you accept it, you no longer have to think about your moral actions because, well, you're following the Bible, and I'm not necessarily saying that's a bad thing on its face. I'm just saying that is an example of how ideology affects just our actions and our thoughts.
Well, and I think a more I don't know the right word for this, but a more human thing that exists within our primal nature is to the idea of safety. So if something is easier to do, that will secure more likelihood of safety than that's what we often strive for, which I think is how potentially ideologies come about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the sake of religious stories, they come about from essentially you view the world, right? And you say, okay, this in front of me is happening, right? And you go, well, it's not necessarily why it's happening, but how do I react to what is happening? And from there, you have different people who say, okay, well, this is happening, and I react to it in fashion A, and another group of people reacts to it in fashion B, and then so forth, C, D, E. When these people come together, you have a fighting amongst these reactions to stimuli.
Do you think that the ideologies use Star Wars and in like real life, the government used that as a way to like try to structure people in like a country.
I
think it's heavily influenced. Like I think the government like
I think yes. I think the government pays close attention to how they're to how the public is thinking, what the popular opinion is with the public, and they just kind of roll with that, saying, "Oh yeah, we
Well, I feel like that's a
we
chicken
support
and the
what
egg
you
question.
support." Yeah,
I feel like that's a chicken and the egg question.
Okay,
Like,
so
which one
I
came
have
first.
I have a very, very real opinion about this, and
Okay.
it might be you might think like, "Oh, Jake is stupid."
Mhm.
The people in power do not watch movies.
I see what you mean.
If they did, our country would not be a shit show right now.
Yeah, I think I know.
Well, there's a
what you
difference
mean.
between watching movies and understanding them.
Okay, that
I feel like
I think there's they do not pay attention
Yep.
to the movies that they watch if they watch them. Like, dude,
Because
look at
Obama screened Episode 7 in the White House.
look
I
at
don't know that.
but see, that was a publicity stunt
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, no, I know. I'm just making a political reference.
Yeah,
Oh,
I see what you mean. 'cause
I'm just pointing that
a
out.
lot of movies are basically showing what the government is doing to
Yeah.
the public.
Yeah.
Well, take a look at Shrek. If you truly understood what the entire like Shrek quadrilogy was about,
Mhm.
you would not be a bad person, like at all.
Well,
and I fully believe that.
Well, yeah, again, because narratives are really powerful, and specifically challenging those narratives is not something that someone can do easily. There's a cognitive dissonance that occurs when you watch something that completely shatters your worldview, and that's what I'm talking about with ideology. Because that's the lens through which you view everything is through that ideology, and if someone comes and they completely destroy that lens, well, what are you left with?
Well, and to bring it back to what we're talking about, that like you said, that's what happens to Anakin.
Yes,
Completely, and I wonder potentially.
so people just refuse, like you were saying about they make it. It's
So,
just easy.
I don't know much about the expanded universe. I know like a teensy bit about KOTOR and like Clone Wars and stuff.
Yeah.
But
I don't know everything, but
I wonder if there's a correlation between that and the Sith.
about what?
Like the way that Anakin became a Sith was potentially because he viewed the Jedi as this like all good force since he was little, and then when he was inside of it, he saw that it wasn't what he wanted it to be,
Mm-hmm.
and because of that is what led him to join the dark side.
I mean, no, I'd agree with that. I'm not sure where you're getting at with the expanded.
I'm saying I wonder if that's how people become Sith.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, it's essentially like if you state an ideal and then you meet that in person, and then it's like, okay, so like celebrities, right?
Yes.
You're like, oh, dude, like you see a celebrity, like let's say John Krasinski, because I don't know how he is, but let's say like I love John Krasinski. I think he's really funny. I think he's great in all of the stuff that he's been in. If I met him in person and then he was an asshole, I'd be like, oh damn, it'd like completely shake how I watch anything that he's ever done in the past.
Like Tom Cruise being the Scientologist.
Yeah, like exactly like Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I got a book if you want to borrow it. About the Scientology.
Oh, okay. I just thought you meant like, is it one of the ones? Is it one of the ones you read on the toilet? Because I don't want one of those.
Oh, really?
It's called Green Lights.
Matthew McConaughey.
No.
Didn't he write one called Green Lights?
Green Lights by
I've got that
Tom
too.
Hanks is spelled with a Z. It's Green Lights.
Oh, okay.
You mean Tom Cruise? Or
No, Tom Hanks.
I didn't know he wrote a book.
He wrote it when he was on that island for a bunch of years and
Yeah.
passed away.
Oh my God.
Wilson. Okay, what were we talking about?
Before we go any further, I was wanting to jump back into the whole like, I don't think the government watches movies type things.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily that the government doesn't watch movies, and I think this goes for the majority of the public. They watch movies, but they don't think about movies.
Well,
Yeah.
no, they don't think about
They
it.
don't
No,
think
and that's
about
exactly what I'm saying.
And-
Like you have, these films that are so powerful. Again, like Shrek or Scooby-Doo 2, but because they are an entertainment-based media format, then people don't watch them to be challenged. They don't
Can
watch.
I say one movie that actually did get like the eyes of Korea? The Interview. You know, I remember like it got
Yeah,
Yes.
North Korea.
because they were trying to show that Kim Jong Un was really like a human.
Yes.
I haven't seen the interview yet. I need to see it.
So
Yeah,
But-
like war was threatened over
Yeah,
it.
like
oh,
that was
yeah.
on a bomb.
Like-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah, I remember that.
No, I mean, like,
It
yeah,
got banned, didn't it, from
the theaters.
Theaters.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they released on DVDs.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Still on Netflix.
not exactly like that, but when the movie Vice came out, I don't know if you guys seen
Oh,
it.
you're talking about with
Christian
Christian
Bale?
Bale.
Christian
Yeah.
Bale, and it's about Dick Cheney.
Censor that first word, sir.
Well, but okay,
Don't you mean
but
Richard?
that's a biopic.
Yeah, it's a biopic, but like
It's a
I was
biopic.
watching it with a family member. I won't say who it is, but I was watching it with a family member. Of mine.
You know.
And we were we liked the movie, but specifically when it got to the somewhat it was more abstract parts of the movie when the narrator showed his face and then died, and it kind of like broke the fourth wall a little bit. I was like amazed by that, and I started like trying to have a conversation to this person about that, and he was just like, "It's just a movie; it doesn't mean anything. Why can't you just watch a movie?"
I hate that. I hate that.
Dude, it's like, what
See,
are you talking
the same-
about? Even the credit scene where it showed like where it showed everything like as far as like the White House being on a fish hook or just other things being on a fish hook it's been a while since I've seen the movie, but that was symbolism for the fact that he was basically using everything.
The same people who say movies don't matter are the same people who cling to religious stories as being the fundamental meaning of life.
This person is very much like that.
Yeah, no, I know.
And
And I'm not knocking that belief at all. What I'm saying is that stories are very important, and if you don't pay attention to them, then you're doomed to fail.
Well, no, and that's exactly what I'm saying. Is like the original theory was that like supervillains in movies or villains in movies don't watch films to understand them, to gain some sort of meaning out of life because of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, did you ever see Anakin watch a movie?
I did not.
Okay,
I cannot say it. I never saw him use the bathroom either, so I don't know if he has a butthole.
Wouldn't it be funny for it to be normalized for like just characters in movies for there to be a bathroom scene in every movie?
Yeah,
going
there was
forward?
one in Mission Impossible 6.
I haven't seen any of the Mission Impossibles. I'm just talking about that being a normal thing
It was a fight scene.
for
It's a good.
just a character.
There was one.
It's
character
awesome
is
because
just-
Henry Cavill like pumps his like hands to get him ready. He goes like charges up his fist.
Blu-ray if you want it.
Yo,
I do
but
too.
also it happens in Impractical Jokers.
What? Oh, we're Joe. Yeah, he's like he opens up the door at like a public bathroom, and while he's sitting on the toilet, and he goes, "Does anybody have any toilet paper?"
I'm just talking about like in the
Yeah.
next Fast and Furious movie, like right before they like take like
Yeah.
Right before they go
go
to
on to
space.
their mission. Vin
June
Diesel.
25th, baby.
Oh no, they all have to go into the family
No,
bathroom.
Transformers crossover.
Dude, I am so.
I
here
want
for
Vin
it.
Diesel to transform into a car.
All right, you heard us, Hollywood. Make it happen.
Make it happen.
He needs the Allspark for the motor.
His bald head.
The Allspark.
The Allspark.
But yeah, no, politicians suck ass.
Dude, if
And-
you're a
If you're a politician and you're listening, fuck off.
this is why
We don't want you here.
Anytime we see someone become a king or a lord over a land, it's always the people who don't want to be in that position. Because the people who do want it for the power,
Mhm.
or they want to make change and they're willing to compromise to get into that position.
Compromise their morality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like let's look at Jon Snow. For so long, he was like, "I don't want to be your king.
Mhm.
I don't want to be your king," and then he was.
Yeah.
And it turned out all right. Now maybe the writing was kind of bleh, but the fate of the entire continent or whatever it's called was
Pangea.
okay. Or like,
I've only seen the first season.
I haven't seen it yet.
or like,
Too
or like,
many
like Tony
boobies.
Stark. Like, he didn't want to be the leader, but he fell into that position, and then he sacrificed his life for that. Gave up everything he had gained, and then when it came down to it, he was like, "Okay, this has to be me."
Yeah,
And I think that's the same thing with like politicians. I know we're not talking about Star Wars right now.
well, it's related.
I do think it does. I agree.
Well, yeah, it's like in the Joseph.
Speaking
Camp-
of related,
hey, let's talk about the religion getting involved in the state,
Oh,
and that has to do with the Jedi specifically. Let me try to find.
well, the Jedi is basically a religious order
Yeah.
to begin with, and so once it
Well, so Palpatine appoints-
immediately when it becomes involved with the state, it's at a downfall. I know this isn't in this movie, but throughout the entirety of the Clone Wars, the Jedi are basically trying to impose their moral standings onto people by using the
Republic
argument, right, that like we're the good guys.
Yeah.
That's their argument, which is demonstrably bad.
Yeah, no, because in this movie, Palpatine appoints Anakin on the Jedi Council. He's like, I'm appointing you on the council of this religious group, which that's the state essentially appointing somebody into a religion. Like that's similar to. So let's say that Catholicism mattered in the United States, right? let's say that you had a pope who was stationed in the U.S., right? But like a good pope, not like all of them. So I'm kidding. Some popes were good. The one before this one, I can't remember his name. I think
Francis, or is that this one?
I think that's this one. I don't remember anymore. If it's outside the U.S., I don't care. So, oops. And anyways, that's essentially like that's like the president appointing a member of his cabinet to serve with the Pope. In order to keep tabs on the Catholic Church, so to make sure that they stay in line with what the state wants, right? And then right after that, the Jedi ask Anakin to report on everything the Chancellor's doing, which is the exact inverse of that, where the religious the religion that is separate from the state is now trying to keep tabs on the state in order to, again, find out what the state is doing to make sure it doesn't exceed in its power, sure, but that's a murky territory right there, and they're interflicting the religion of, you could just say, a religion with the power of the state. That's always a dangerous combination, especially when it was not voted.
Well, I agree, and I think unfortunately, I think most people will say that the Jedi are the good guys, or at least have the proper moral motive, ethical motive,
like
for the most part.
During the war or during this specific instance?
During time, eternity.
Yeah.
I mean, the Jedi preach peace, which I think anybody would agree is a good thing.
So we could the Jedi code, I just looked it up, is there is no emotion, there is peace, there is no ignorance, there is knowledge, there is no passion, there is serenity, there is no chaos, there is harmony, there is no death, there is the Force. Jesus, that's crazy. Like, that's actually kind of crazy. Like, specifically the first one, there is no emotion, there is peace. Regardless of what you want to say about empirical data, you cannot say that emotion does not exist. You can't say it. Now, you can say your experience may not be objective, but you cannot argue that there's no emotion. Like, that's crazy. That's actually crazy. There was the line that, and Chris said it during his recap about the death bit. You know, it's like, don't mourn people, don't even miss the people who died because they're one with the Force.
Yeah.
Again, that's kind of crazy because I think a lot of people would say they define the value of their life by the people that they interact with. And if the Jedi discourage any close enough attachments to where you don't even miss them when they die,
what's crazy
that's kind of wild.
That, what are those, Kyle? Those are absolutes.
Yep, that's.
But here's the thing.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Only. I'll let you say it, Chris.
What?
The line.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Yeah, but why is that
honestly, I
problematic?
want to take that soundbite and put it over Obi-Wan saying it.
Yeah, but what's the problem with that statement, Chris? You said it while we were...
The problem is the Jedi are inherently dealing in absolutes.
Well, yes, but that phrase right there...
Only a Sith. Yeah, they're... Oh, yeah, sorry. That's an absolute statement.
Yeah. So it's immediately contradictory to his entire point.
Yeah.
Which I think is why Darth Revan is such a compelling character.
Well, and that's what I was going to go in further. It's like, well, that's what an ideologue does. They're able to explain everything, all the past, all the present, and all the future. And they claim the full truth and single-handedly wield rationality for themselves, right? Because the problem is that there is no claim more totalitarian and no situation which leads to the excesses of pride than that claim. That what I am saying, it has always been true, is always true, and will always be true. I am the only one who sees things clearly. You cannot through your lens.
Dude, it's
Ever.
basically just a massive gaslight.
Yeah. It's kind of wild. And it's like, the thing is that at the end of the day...
We're not trying to take over the council. Only the Sith is.
Right, yeah. Well, it's like, at the end of the day, the Jedi and the Sith want the same thing. I mean, Palpatine says it all the time. And whether you believe him or not is like, we can talk about that. But, like, they want peace.
Yeah.
Right? And, well, I guess, how do you define peace?
Yeah,
what do you mean by peace?
When Windu says the only way we will achieve peace is if we take over the Senate, which is against the Jedi the Jedi code.
Well, again, that's another absolute.
Yeah.
You're saying the only way that this can happen.
Yeah. Well,
Yo,
you're very
Luke
much
was
right.
They're not
dude.
necessarily-
These Jedi are trash.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's so great about Episode 8 is like it's a reflection on everything in Star Wars that's come
only
before,
difference is-
and it twists that. And Episode 9 sucks. I hate it.
Fuck,
I hate Episode 9 so much.
bro.
Oh my god, it's the
It's
worst
like-
Star Wars. And what pisses me off about it is not that it's so terrible, but that everybody else likes it. I cannot stand the
Dude,
fact I went and saw it.
BBA.
Dad, if you are listening to this, I went and saw it with you, and you said it was good, and I nearly shot myself in the face.
Well,
I fully gave up on life.
But here's the thing: it's a spectacle.
God, it sucks.
That's what the people want. They want a spectacle. They don't want to be challenged. They just want to see flashy lights and things go kapow.
Yeah.
Theoretically,
TikTok is ruining America.
I mean, the snow scene was good, guys, when they were fighting.
No,
Yeah,
that's episode 5.
No. 9.
wait.
The snow scene?
Yeah, where Kylo Ren and Rey was fighting in the woods.
That's episode 7.
That, yeah, it
Oh.
is.
My bad.
Even that one, I'm not like super partial to, but I don't hate it with a passion.
But 9 was awful, by the way. If we're talking about the last one that came out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
9 can lick my ass.
They kissed, and that's all.
That was so dumb.
Yeah,
Hey,
I remember being in theaters,
I like
and
that.
they were leaning into each other, and I was like, "Don't kiss, don't." And I remember she did, and I went, "Oh my god!" And I said it out loud, and everyone looked at me, and I was like, that was the worst." God,
Dude, when Rose stopped Finn from sacrificing himself,
that's episode 8.
Yeah, that was episode 8. But when Rose stopped him and then said, "Love is the only way we're gonna win the war," and then the canon was supposed to be killing everyone else in the background. That happened, and then she kisses him, and I'm like, "Fuck you, fuck both of you,
Actually,
fuck this movie."
Actually,
Don't
Let
even
me-
get me started on episode 8 because
let's go back to a wise man called Vision. We don't trade lives, Captain.
Oh, okay.
Every
Thank God it's
fucking
not the
episode.
chaos and order quote.
Every
I was,
episode.
No, we don't trade lives, Captain.
yeah.
And that's what that was, in my opinion.
Essentially, well, what Rose was saying there is that
Wait.
You're-
We're not talking about episode 8.
well, no, I know, but
I understand it.
She was what she was saying is that your motives are impure. She goes, you wanted to take this out by because you hated them, not because of your love for the rebellion.
Yes, but the entire of they said that like the door was not going to be able to withstand one blast. They said that. For all she had known, they all died. She killed the Republic just to make a fucking point.
So are you
Like-
saying that it's okay to compromise your morals if it means that you lose?
Uh-oh.
It's not okay to compromise your morals if it means
So
that
then you can't be mad at that scene. Moving on. No, go ahead. Explain.
I mean, he
It's
does
not
that.
okay to compromise your morals in the event that everyone you know is about to die.
Wait, no, it is okay.
No, wait.
Because
Yes, it is okay. It is okay.
It is
compromise.
okay.
Yes, it is okay to
Well,
compromise.
then
your
why
morals.
did you win?
So why have morals?
Huh?
Why have morals?
Fucking.
But that's exactly what happened to Anakin.
Right.
He lost his morality in order to protect
Well,
the people.
it's just like he was
The person.
saving them,
Yeah.
but whether or not
Anakin was
why he
saving
was
Padme.
saving them didn't matter at the point. Like,
Anakin
like
was saving Padme.
No, he's talking about episode 8.
I
Yeah,
know,
I'm
but
talking about
I'm
episode
trying
8.
to bring it back to
Oh, yeah.
the movie we're talking about.
Yeah, well, no, this is important. This is important.
I forgot what I was.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, it's kind of like the Batman thing where he doesn't kill. It's like you know
Yeah,
how many
yeah.
you know how many people the Joker has killed, like over the years because Batman just keeps locking them away instead of killing them. And it's like, but Batman stays a morally, I hesitate to say pure, but like he stays within his moral code. By not killing them, even though it leads to more suffering along the
Yeah,
way, and it's like,
it-
well, is
it's
that right or
like-
wrong?
It's just for the sake for him to think that he is a good person. But it's like, okay, what is a good person if you're allowing other people to die just so
Yep.
you can sleep well at night?
Well,
Like,
you could almost say too that it's more about it's not just so like you feel like you're a better person, but it's to keep you away from the monster within. You place that limit on yourself.
define monster.
You want me to define the
Type
monster?
of cheese.
Okay. What?
He's that type of
Overrated.
cheese.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
let's go back to the Enuma Elish, right? The Mesopotamian creation story. When Marduk destroyed Tiamat, and the other Apsu, I think is his name, or maybe it's Kingu, something like that. But it's the monster king that wielded the book of destiny, right? Or the tablet of destiny. And Marduk defeated him, and from the blood of that king, which created all the monsters, he helped form human beings, right? The idea behind there is that every human being has a little bit of the monster within them, the king monster within them. And it's controlling that monster. That's what makes you a good person, because a weak person is not morally justified by the fact that they are weak. It's the strong person who refuses to enact in terrible things that is a good person. Because you're not a good person because you can't do anything bad. You're a good person because you can and you choose not to.
What does Ben always say?
Strong man.
No. Other Ben.
It's carbon time.
What?
Yeah, no, he's right. Yeah, Ben Grimm, what is, yeah.
No. Barnyard Ben.
With great power comes great responsibility. Strong man.
Sorry. Won't back down.
Yeah, Tom Petty's won't back down.
No, what does Ben always say?
I don't know. I can't remember.
A strong man stands up for himself.
But a stronger man stands up for others. And are you standing up for others when you refuse to kill Joker and have Joker kill them?
I think, especially when it comes to being a symbol of justice, that you have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
You have to what?
You have to let them live, because if you kill,
You
then you are just like them.
You have to let Joker live
It's not for us to
for the
say.
sake of the symbol of peace. So
You
what
can't-
good is a symbol if making that symbol have a good reputation, not enacting peace?
Well, but that's
Okay, well, you would ask, well, what good is God?
Okay,
Because look at all the terrible things that's going on around us.
Yeah, I know.
And God has the
I-
power to stop it,
I just-
theoretically, if he was omniscient and omnipresent.
Mhm.
So why doesn't he do it? Okay, I mean it's the same question that we're getting to,
Mm.
and it's the point that it's up to everybody to choose to do the right thing, and not because they don't have the ability to
Right.
not.
And if this symbol, if this person who stands for peace decides to go against that, then what does it matter? Even the heroes, even the people that are supposedly an epitome of justice, an epitome of peace, go against that.
That's why the Jedi fail Anakin,
Mm.
because
That's why the Jedi fail.
well, yeah, exactly, but they fail Anakin more specifically, which is what causes them to fail.
Mm.
They failed him by saying, we have a strong ideal and you must follow it,
Yeah.
and I am not going to. That's how they failed Anakin.
It's
And-
like
and
the
that-
do
that's-
as I say,
that's
not
the-
as I do.
Right, and that's the point. It's like if you state an ideal, you have to follow it all the time, or your hypocrisy leads to the downfall of everyone who follows you. And that goes for
Okay.
Jedi,
Okay.
that goes for the Senate, that goes for our modern republic. If you state an ideal and do not apply it equally, you're the villain.
So the Jedi are the villains.
Well, I
Who-
mean, both Jedi and Sith are the villains. 'cause
Well,
they're the
yeah,
same thing.
obviously.
I wasn't thinking it in the scenario of Jedi and Anakin. I was just thinking of it as Jedi and the rest of the galaxy.
Right, yeah.
Well, I
But-
mean, even
but-
then, like,
Yeah, I mean, it still applies. I mean, I'm not saying this because like it's not an easy concept to wrap your mind around. Because like when you look at it at its face,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, why doesn't Batman just kill people? Why do bad things happen if we could stop them? It's because
well,
you
it's,
have to
it's
have-
not even an easy concept in its abstraction either.
Right.
I mean, it's basically you have to make a choice in what you believe in and stand for that, without there being truly a right answer.
yeah, I mean, because people, you may disagree. Like at the end of the day, you may be like, you know what? If I know that someone is going to kill like 100 people, and even though my moral mindset tells me that I should not kill somebody, no matter what, and we can argue about that too. But if your thing is no matter what, I'm not going to kill somebody,
You better stick to that.
yeah, you better stick to that. Otherwise, well, it's the slippery slope principle.
Mhm.
Like there is nowhere else for you to, because no matter what, you state a moral, you already know that you can break it.
Yeah.
You know it.
Yeah.
And I'm not even arguing that like, in every situation killing a person is wrong, because like, self-defense is one thing. In war, that's another thing. It's like I'm not saying that is always wrong all the time, because I'm not an ideologue, as I said earlier about the explaining everything in all concepts. I just got really tired after that. Not like,
Your brain hurts.
yeah, because like I haven't had to state this out loud before, and so I'm kind of scrambling to do it. But I think I'm. Did what I say make sense? Because I feel like I was all over the place. Okay. I get insecure.
I love you, Chris.
Shut up.
Okay.
Also, Obi-Wan leaves Anakin to die. He doesn't kill him.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Like he just leaves him
Yeah.
burning alive. And like I know that he like couldn't do it. Oh, my brother. But damn, dude, this man's burning up. Just
Bro, just imagine if Obi-Wan would have killed him right
He
there.
could have just
Oh, man.
lifted his body
And put it in the lava.
taken him into the ship and just either held him as prisoner or,
yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, but here's the thing. Obi-Wan says it. I have failed you, Anakin.
I have
failed you.
I have failed
No,
you.
no, no. I have failed you, Anakin. I have failed you. What is Anakin's next line? He goes,
I hate you.
No. You're skipping. Oh God, what is it? I should have known the Jedi were plotting to take over. Anakin, Chancellor Palpatine is evil. Well, from my point of view, the Jedi are evil. Well, then you all lost.
Ooh, yeah. But he was not lost.
Does-
he was woke.
Does Obi-Wan ever kill anybody?
Darth
Okay.
Maul,
Oh, that's true.
General Grievous.
Oh, that's true.
He was the first person to kill a Sith in since Yoda.
But is
Like-
that against the Jedi Code to kill Sith?
Mm-mm. It's not against the Jedi Code to kill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, because
I mean,
they
said
they try to kill the Sith like all the time. Like that's their shtick.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Okay.
No, it's not against the kid, and I would even say it's a mercy killing, like for him to kill Anakin right there, because again, he's like the man's burning on fire, he's screaming in pain.
Yeah.
I hate watching that scene because that's why I got a PG-13 rating too. It's the only
Really?
Star Wars movie at that time to get one. Yeah.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's only because of the immolation scene.
I have heard a lot of people say that, like, when they were kids, their parents wouldn't let them watch specifically
I wasn't allowed to go see it in theater.
Revenge of the
because-
Sith.
It's because it was PG-13. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was only because of that. And George Lucas fought it really hard. But he was like, no, I'm not taking it out.
My
And
dad.
that's why I love George Lucas. I'll say it. I hate Disney Star Wars.
Yeah.
I do. I don't care how much good stuff they put out of it. I hate them because for the simple fact is they will, and love Dave Filoni. Love Dave Filoni. He seems like a great guy. Like, and I like the stuff that he's worked
Don't
on.
ever meet him.
Yeah, I'm not gonna meet him because then I'll have to kill younglings. But
Yikes.
but no, I love that George Lucas is like, hey, MPAA, I want this to be PG.
Matt Baz.
He goes, I want this to be PG, and they said, okay, you have to take out the immolation scene, or at the very least, like make it less violent. And he goes, no, I need that because it's important to the story. Like it is integral. And they said it's going
accumulation
to be
of-
PG-13, and he said, okay, then it is. And I'm like, Disney Star Wars would not do that.
No, because it's all about the money.
Yeah, they would go, oh well, if we did PG-13, less kids are going to see it, and since kids are our market
Wait a
audience,
minute,
then
wait
we
a
have to
minute.
take it out.
Aren't Disney Star Wars PG-13?
Yes, but it's a different time.
Yeah.
Like even 2005.
Now, if it's not PG-13,
I mean,
if it's
kids
not
can
at least
see
PG-13,
Yeah.
people aren't going to go see it because
Nowadays.
that's not cool.
Yeah, well, it's again, it's like I don't even know exactly what it is that makes it PG-13, other than like the violent aspects of it. Because it's kind of weird too, because like, and we're getting off topic here, but like, Disney Star Wars like humanizes the stormtroopers through Finn, and then they never use that again.
Dude,
Yeah.
how
Like-
cool would it have been if we would have got to see like
The stormtroopers like
that were with him?
form a revolt with.
Well, that's what Episode 9's climax should have been. Finn shouldn't have been fighting on top of a Star Destroyer just because it looked cool. No, he should have been calling before everybody else showed up. He should have like patched into like their thing and talked to all the stormtroopers and been like, "Yo, I'm an ex-stormtrooper. Here's why the First Order is bad. Here's why the rebellion is good. Blah blah blah." And then you have the stormtroopers have to decide, and they take over all the ships.
Well, and that's
That's how it should've-
exactly. Well, that's
Damn, that would have been so good.
that's what Episode 6 kind of sets up with the return of Anakin. Is that like
You mean Luke?
no Anakin?
At the end, like
Yeah, at the very end.
when
Oh,
he-
yeah.
Um,
yeah.
Because
Sorry, episode 6.
in my part of my opinion is that basically Anakin was like, "Oh, I've gone too far.
Mhm.
I have to commit now."
Yeah.
Because anything else is just like utter despair. And so because he realized that he can be redeemed, he redeems himself.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same thing with the stormtroopers, because Finn has been able to turn away
Mhm.
from working for the First Order. Well, now we see that it can be done.
Yeah, well, even as a character arc, him going from Stormtrooper who joins the rebellion to be with Rey to a person in the rebellion who goes from wanting to be there for a person, then for the cause, then eventually being someone who is able to convince other people to also join the cause. What a great arc. But instead we got Rey! Rey!
Who are you?
Rey!
Rey.
One more.
Rey!
Rey Skywalker. Dude,
Alligator Man's last words.
Rey!
honestly,
Because he got killed. by
dang.
Stingray. Okay,
Fuck
that was
episode
bad.
9. What did you say? Don't say it again.
You're an evil man.
Don't say it again.
It was really bad. You want to cut it out.
Fuck episode 9. Alright. So we talked a lot, loved a lot. Chris feels bad because he thinks we bullied him, but we did not. Well, we kind of did.
Thanks for that's gaslighting.
Yeah.
That's gaslighting.
But I just said that, and then we did.
That's
We bullied Chris, and I apologize.
I've kind of mentally
Publicly-
checked out.
I apologize publicly on the podcast.
Yo, who's that outside? Hey. Sorry.
All I see is a reflection. Anyway, do you accept my
Thirsty?
apology?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
whatever.
No.
Yes, I do. I will
Thank
try to be better next time. I'm sorry.
Do we need to rate this movie for the Ready or Not?
How many explosions?
There's like
explosions in
infinite
this.
explosions in
Yeah.
this movie.
Is it people though? Do we see people explode?
You do see.
It depends on.
You
It
do see a
depends on how
clone
you-
floating in space after his ship explodes in the first.
That's
opening
not an
minutes.
explosion.
It depends on how
His
you.
ship explodes and he goes.
Yeah, but do we see
People.
people explode?
Plo Koon.
This is true.
Well, I feel like that depends on if you value droids more than Kenobi does.
What a good callback.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Dang.
funny.
I do.
So if you do, then we see a lot of like droids like
Droids
explode.
yeah.
Or it just gets sliced.
Yeah. Well, but even then,
A
like,
slice is
they-
different from an explosion.
yeah, but they blow up in like explosions throughout the movie. Like,
Yeah, but I need to see some. I mean, that's like with Transformers. Like, it's implied that people exploded, but not a really they exploded.
So you want to see it like on screen.
Yes.
You want to see their bodies.
yes, ready or not,
Yeah.
there was no implication of that. Their
Okay,
heads
well-
went shklablooey.
We got at least one for Plo Koon.
For
and
Who was
Plo Koon.
Huh?
He was the
Who was
he
that
was
again?
the orange looking guy who had like the mask on him. And
You-
if you remember like the
If you've
Star Wars the
seen
Clone
Clone
Wars
Wars-
meme where he's like, "Well, sir, we're just clones. We're meant to be expendable," and he goes, "Not to me."
I don't know.
He's on the Jedi Council.
I don't remember.
He's got the extra finger that's real long.
He was flying the ship. You remember during Order 66 when they're flying around and there's like that planet where it's got like almost like the Halo ring.
Oh no!
things?
During that time, I was busy taking notes that you guys just shat on.
Literally, this time.
That's what that smell is.
Yeah,
That's
you guys,
what's dripping down my
Anyway.
leg. It's not beads of sweat, I promise.
You guys can watch the video on our OnlyFans.
What?
Link in the description.
Al Pacino's prison scene. It's our
$10 off if you get that reference. Was there a reference? No, I just wanted to make that
Hey,
joke.
$10 if you get it though.
$10 if you get our OnlyFans. We pay them. We're like, please, we need the exposure of our exposure.
I don't remember that many explosions. I mean, I'll give it a 3 because of Plo Koon, and I might say implied 5, but actual 3.
There's a lot of explosions than just the opening scene.
Yeah, but do
Which
we
again-
see anybody explode, or is it just explosions? Because there's a difference.
R4 gets his head ripped off.
Not an explosion.
Yeah,
that's
it's.
true.
I mean, I guess yeah. For
That might be a whammy zammy.
the only
Maybe.
one that I can think of in my head of seeing somebody explode on screen is just Plo Koon. So I guess I'll give it a 2 in that aspect.
Yeah, well, 3 minimum is one person blows up. That's 3
That's why. Why?
I would say 3.5 then.
because that's just what happened.
3.5.
Then I'll say
there
4.
were there were
No,
other-
I'm
but
sure
there's only one.
But that's the
It
only one
doesn't-
that I
it
can
doesn't-
recall. How long are we going on?
Oh no! I want to
Oh my god.
just.
Yo, an hour 30? That's crazy.
A lot of it is gonna get cut out.
Yeah, I know, but that's wild.
No. What were you gonna say?
I can't remember. Oh, I probably said I just want to die. I think that's what I was gonna say. That's why I didn't say it.
Why did you slam though?
I don't. Oh, because I was.
He was
like,
testing out his ring.
I was annoyed at you guys. What?
What were you gonna say?
I don't remember. I don't think I was going to say anything. I was going to say the fact that I said R.I.P. R4 like justifies the fact that nobody should shit on these recap notes because not many people like R4 as much as I did.
Oh, 4.
Yeah, you know.
I like
I cannot-
R6.
I cannot wait for the Kenobi show.
It cannot be. It has to be seen.
What do
3.5.
Where's the 0.5 coming from?
The fact that there are other explosions in the movie
So that-
aside from that one guy.
So
3.5 was
that-
in the episode.
That would be implied. That would be an implied 3.5. Because it's based on how many actual explosions of people that we see.
Hey, guess what? It's time for Chris's shining moment. He's in.
I don't want to do this.
He's in the mood for it.
No, I'm not. Hey, we got an actual rapper.
Oh,
on
we
the
got an
podcast.
artist over here.
We got an actual rapper.
We got it. I'll bring the mic over to you.
All right, hold on. Before we go, if you'd like to write an apology to Chris, you can send that at Pacino.
They have no right to apologize for me. If anything, and I will admit this, I need to apologize to them because
If you want to
I
write
have-
Chris an apology,
Because I'm sure
Send
not
that-
gonna.
send that over
I,
to pacinopodcast@gmail.com.
All right.
And send us your favorite Star Wars memes
Ready?
on Twitter.
I'm not.
At Pacino
Come on,
Pod.
please.
At Pacino Pod.
I'll do the beatbox if you please. I'm way better at beatboxing than freestyle.
They're gonna judge.
No, come on.
They
Just
judge
sing
me all the time.
Just sing a verse of your song.
Come on.
No, it's got to be Star Wars.
It's gotta be about Star Wars.
Just
Making my way
anything
through
Star
these
Wars.
Star
Just like
Wars.
Please.
Making my way through these Star Wars.
If Jake
It's
doesn't lie,
really
if he
not.
doesn't
It's
lie.
really not.
I'll just
Okay.
say in the back of
I
making my way
let
through
me
Star
beatbox.
Wars.
Let me beatbox and I'll
Alright.
Star Wars.
Chris got the beatbox.
Making my way
Hold on,
through
let me
Star Wars.
unroll this.
Making my way through these
All right, let's
Star
get
Wars.
just a little bit of silence so we can cut to it if we need. Deshaun, just talk real quick. Let's see your levels. Just talk for levels.
One take, Jake.
There it is.
All right, let's go. Yeah.
Just keep doing ad libs like that.
Anakin.
Making my way.
And Padme.
That hurt my man's feelings like a circumcision. They was talking about the Star Wars and he mentioned religion. Talking about Jesus Christ, cause he gave his life. Jake's a one take, he's pretty good at giving advice. We was Star Wars, Obi-Wan, Obi-Can, like he's Anakin, like he's Toucan Sam. He was flying in the sky, then he killed his wife. Then he reminisces Jedi way like it was life. You got Yoda, he been driving fast down the lane. Every time I watch Star Wars, I go insane. I don't like the prequels that much as the sequels, cause I'm not a SEAL. But I go to sleep late at night on NyQuil. I gon' sting you in the heart like you was a seal, electric eel. And when I put the cap on my drink, it's a seal. Don't you ask me how I feel, okay? Why do you think about Finn? He's a stormtrooper. He mentioned he had to take a poop. He's a pooper. That's a one take.
You guys going out. All right, everybody. I was gonna go in, but
Nice, that's what she said.